loan or bill collection or consolidation, phone calls, messages, letters, harassment, data mining scam. Boilerplate to read back, and if you're interrupted, keep continuing. Even if you talk over me on a half-duplex phone tree, anything you claim you did not hear me say is still treated as being heard by you under the law. It's not based on what you say you heard or can prove it. It's based on what I can prove I said, whether you actively ignored it. Interruptions will be ignored, but you're not allowed to interrupt me and ignore me and have it matter. Your interruptions and ignorance are not admissible. The information you have is wrong for anything associated with me. It's not mine. It does not match me. Remove this information from all call lists and databases you have access to. I will contest this fraud by certified mail with EQUIFAX EXPERIAN and TransUnion. Your Better Business Bureau rating, if there is one, is based on responses, not on resolutions. So, I will state forever that I reviewed your response in reference to the complaint I will file. And I will state that I have determined that it does not resolve my complaint. And I will always reply that way. I do not validate or verify any contract or agreement with my information. So you must give me information first. And I'm still not required to give you anything. And again, if you interrupt me, I'm just going to keep continuing. And you can claim anything you want to. But again, the law interrupts you. It ignores you when you interrupt me. Give me the true legal name and mailing address for your company, your call center, the creditor you claim to represent, the law firm that represents you when, not if, a court case happens. I need to know where this is really coming from. I verify you, not the other way around. I'm vetting you. The statute of limitations for time-barred debts force your company to state any or all of the following: the date of the original transaction, the last statement, last invoice, charge-off, payment, or court judgment. If only part of it is provided, you must then state the exact original amount. If you don't have that information, you have no standing. Any entity allowed to implement a legal instrument on behalf of anyone, and or having standing in the court on behalf of anyone, or claiming to do so, is not valid if they say they have, can, or will do any of the following, or have done it. Communicate with friends, family, or a workplace. Claim to be a law enforcement or other official sounding entity. Threaten imprisonment, seizure of assets. Say they will harm or encumber credit reports, reputation, property. Or if you simply call outside of the 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. time range in some areas, or just use profane language at all. No matter what I say, you cannot break these rules. Again, you do not have information that is valid to me, otherwise you wouldn't be giving me this call. And I know that you're going to do your best to get a bunch of information by cold reading me. And then if you can't get anything financially out of me, you'll sell it on a database list. What is your physical location? What is the name of your company? Not a DBA, not the name you use as a nom de plume legally. Your real company name that you would use in a court filing so that I can look you up and confirm you. Give me your law firm's name and address and representative I should contact who handles you. Give me the name of the call center and the location. Give me the name of the individual who's created this debt, presuming that they have a contract with me, so I can contact them directly and ignore you and keep you out of this as a third person. You're not a middleman. You're an annoyance. Now, if they get really if you're dealing with a scammer, they're going to start screaming things. The other thing you will say is 1977 Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, 1991 Telephone Consumer Protection Act, 2005 Junk Fax Act, and 2021 Regulation F. By the way, I got to repeat one of them. 1977 Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. For some reason, I keep saying 1997. There was a revision to it, but that's not the actual act. Regulation F made it to where they can't do anything until they confirm it's you. If they can't get you to do something on the phone, they're powerless, but they'll just do it anyway. Also, if it's beyond a certain age, they're not allowed to do anything with it unless you ask them to, which nobody in their right mind would do. If by any chance they actually comply with any of this, which they won't, you immediately file a complaint with the Better Business Bureau, which does nothing. They just pay them off. And you keep saying this is not a satisfactory outcome on the web domain page. So it always shows no satisfactory acts. You never say yes to it, no matter what they offer. You contact EQUIFAX Experian and TransUnion because they're scammers too, and tell them, if you do business with this company by allowing them to put anything on your database concerning me, or maybe anybody, I will sue you immediately. And I'll win. Because if they knowingly, if they're informed that a company is re-aging a debt that's outdated, or more importantly, not confirming with you, and they don't act on it immediately. Next, I'm going to bring up the reason for the actual names. First Source Bank is a company that really existed. They had to file a court case against First Source Advantage Limited, Mumbai, India, because, now remember, Mumbai, India, because First Source Advantage Limited would say, First Source, we're a financial institution. People would assume it's the bank. And also, they went out of business. So, magically, First Source Advantage LLC in LaPorte, Indiana. And they would just phrase it so it sounded like India. Oddly enough, that worked to prevent people from finding them. First Source Group USA Incorporated is a parent company, or is it a DBA? Good luck finding out. There's 18 different variations of it now. First Source Financial Solutions and First Source Solutions are probably the same company, but again, good luck. Delaware Incorporated, Louisville, Kentucky business. Many localities are friendly to the scammers because they make a lot of money and they bribe the right people. And they do things under RICO Act kind of crap. This is a blessing and a curse because people like me will occasionally take on representatives and get dirt on them and screw them over, Maryland. They usually hang up at first. Then they try to leave a message. They claim they were sent by a hospital and to get you on their website to apply for their financial assistance or debt consolidation, whatever they're selling them. If you answer, they may say but if you answer the phone first, they may say it's for personal business, not reveal who they're calling to speak with or why. And will state, we will not be reporting any of this to your credit reporting agency yet, or you will not be sued yet. Which technically means they're complying with the rules, but they're obviously phrasing it so it's a threat, which immediately invalidates the call. They do not need to provide personal information to you, even though you can demand it, but you don't demand it. You only demand that they give you the information about who hired them, where they're located. Shit they don't want to tell you, because then you could file a court case and have it delivered. You could serve them paperwork. They say they already have all the information they need, and then later on they start demanding the information anyway to confirm. Then they say they'll charge you $100 or whatever the amount is for the time they need to verify you on the phone. Don't give them information or even false information. Do not respond to this. Just repeat the boilerplate. They become agitated and condescending and accuse you of knowing exactly what this is all about and calling you all sorts of names eventually if they don't get what they want. They don't lose anything, especially if they're in a domain where physically they can't be arrested. They are looking to get valid email addresses, physical addresses, phone numbers, etc. to sell this information to other people to harass you or send you junk mail. This can also start with them just getting junk mail lists and then using it for this because they assume everyone has a debt because it's a very good bet. And if they play a guessing game with you, they can narrow down an actual debt, locate it, and buy it, and then tell you to pay them off. If you demand they reveal any of their information, or you tell them to put you on don't call it a do not call list. That's a list they keep. It has your name and information. You tell them to delete the data that they're using to contact you explicitly. But if you do that, they will talk over you loudly. Again, they're taking advantage of the fact that their voice recording system is quote-unquote unable to hear you. That's not really true. It does record you. It's just considered the secondary audio. They will then hang up. And if you try to call back, it'll say it's a disconnected number when it's not. It's actually just playing back a voicemail message to you from your phone number. You can do this on a cell phone. I worked at a phone company one time, and you could literally say that people had a specific response back. They'll answer if you call back from a different phone number, and you do it immediately. And you have to get a phone where if you hit the buttons, it actually plays back the sound. And when you record them, you have to. They have to be in each ear. You're in one ear and they're in the other. And you then switch to another phone line. Make sure you have a second phone line, like a fax number or something like that. And on that note, the 1977 through 2021 rules, if you combine them together, make it to where they really can't do anything unless you participate. Do not participate. Again, here we go. Even if you talk over me on a half-duplex phone tree, anything you claim you did not hear me say is still treated as being heard by you under the law. It's not based on what you say you heard. It's based on what I can prove I said by playing a recording. Interruptions will be ignored by me and the law. The information you have is wrong for anything associated with me. It's not me. It's not mine. It doesn't match me. Remove the information from all call lists and databases you have access to. That statement implies strongly they're supposed to delete it from whoever they got it from. If they don't, that's fine. Maybe they're required to by law. You don't state they are. You've already given them the information. I will contest this fraudulent communication by certified mail with EQUIFAX EXPERIAN TRANSUNIon. And if you want to later, if they keep talking, this has the effect of making it to where they eventually stop letting you use their services because they don't want to deal with it anymore. And the Better Business Bureau complaint will never come down and will never have a positive outcome. You will lose your A+ rating if you have it. And again, that company out of Mumbai that just shifted all over the place, they still have a positive ranking. Now they sell services that are legit. Some of these companies do, but on a sideline or as a main line, they do these scams. Next, unless you're in a room with a lawyer in an office building and it's confirmed as being a real location instead of a suite number that's literally a P.O. box someplace, you don't give out information. They'll say, well, do you know of any debts? And it's like, I'm not answering any of your questions because you have to verify yourself. I'm vetting you, not the other way around. You have to answer my questions before I tell you anything. I have no reason to answer your questions. You will answer them or I will hang up. You've already read the boilerplate, so they're told to take you off the list. If they call you again, at that point you really do file a complaint with Experian, etc., and dump your complaints on the internet. And make sure you include the phone number they used. And also the phone number they told you to use versus the one they used. And if it doesn't come through on caller ID, you shouldn't answer the phone at all. That's about it. Hope this has been useful. And yes, at one time, me and a bunch of other people in Portland went after one of these companies that went after every poor person. They are leeches. They do not call people with money. They call people with no money. And yeah, if you're curious, this one was caused by me going to the hospital for an injury to my throat and them selling my information illegally. And I will be contacting them and explaining to them that they can undo it. Tell me. If they can't, I'm suing them. And no, I don't owe a debt to them. This is literally them just making literally another nickel. By the way, if this is a real debt they're talking about, if they actually go through the confirmation and go through this barrage, I'll tell them, I know you bought this for $4 for every $100 of debt. I'll give you $5 for each $100 if you go through a law firm, a legit one. I'm not giving you any more than that. If you spent more than that, you better resell it. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that. By the way, if you do that, you're buying your own debt. Your own junk debt. You don't pay the debt. You buy the junk debt. You own it, and then you never resell it. You go to your grave with the paperwork with you. But anybody else tries to do it, say, I'm the one who owns that debt. I bought it. I'll collect for myself when I feel like it.